Welcome to Susie's Secret Recipes in Little Country Store. And so guys, the no-bake cookies that I was making was actually for a customer. I was filling an order, but it was hard for me to tell myself that I couldn't have one because no-bake cookies, it's probably my second favorite cookie next to Mexican crinkle, and chocolate chip follows very closely. Of course, chocolate is in all three of those, and I am a chocoholic, but I do like those three cookies. And I'm not really a big cookie fan of other types of cookies, but those three I do like. But on another note, I have been storing eggs for the winter. When it starts getting cold, sometimes chickens will kind of die down on laying eggs. They do need a break every once in a while. I've never had them totally quit laying, but they may not be laying. I might not get as many eggs as that I would get, during the rest of the year. So what I've been doing is I've been storing them, and it's called glassing eggs. And what you do is you'll take 2 tablespoons, a heaping amount of pickling lime, and pour it into a quart jar, and then fill it with water, and then mix it, stir it. Pour it into your over your eggs into your, this is a half-gallon size jar. And what I do is I go ahead, if I have 8 eggs that's clean, I'll go ahead and put them in. And as I go get more, I just start filling it up. And I've got about, most jars have about 17 to 18 eggs. A lot of it depends on the size of your eggs. I think this one has 17 in it. But you need to make sure that your eggs are clean. So when you're gathering them, if you have some that's not so clean, go ahead and wash them and put them in your refrigerator. Those that are clean, those are the ones you do not want to wash. They go into your jar. Like I said, don't wash them, just put them right on in. And what is happening is the pickling lime is going to go around the egg and seal it, and it preserves it, and they'll last up to about 18 months. And so when you need eggs, you just open it up and get one out, and when you break it, you will see it is as fresh as if you went and gathered them that day. So that's a really neat thing to do. And so I have been doing that, and I have about 6 jars already. I don't know how many more I'm going to do, but you just never know, especially in the way things are going right now. I do know that eggs are almost $5 to buy. I saw that the other day, and I thought, I'm so grateful that I don't have to do that. And so if you have any questions about storing eggs, just put it in the comments below and I'll get back with you. But I'm fixing to head over to my mother's. We're going to be putting squash up. I grew a fall garden, so I'm getting a lot of squash and zucchini and cucumbers. And so we're going to put squash up today. And what you do with it is actually the same as what you would do with okra. We're going to slice it up and put it into our cornmeal mix, and then put it into the freezer, then bring it back out, and then put them into a vacuum seal and suck all the air out, and then they go back into the freezer. And when they come out, you want to put a little bit more cornmeal on it, and then you just fry it like you would normally, and it tastes just like it come out of the garden. And we've done that with our okra, and it's very good. So we're going to be doing that, putting some more butter up. We're actually, instead of putting it into a tub, we're going to actually put like a half a cup, which is what you would use when you're baking, into a vacuum seal, suck all the air out of that, and put it in the freezer. So we're going to be busy today. Plus, she's also crocheting pumpkins, and I can't wait to see it. So come along with me, and we'll get this show on the road. And so I didn't get a whole lot of squash, zucchini, and cucumbers this summer. It got hot too quick. We were in the 90s in May, and that's your growing time, and then even hotter into the hundreds for June, July, and August. So it was a very hot summer and spring. And so I decided to plant a fall garden, and now I'm getting plenty of squash, zucchini, and cucumbers. So I thought I'd bring my mama some, because I knew she was wanting to put some in the freezer for this winter. And so she was excited when I brought them over. And so this is her putting them up. And we do it the same way that we do okra. we will cut it up and then put it in the cornmeal mix and then put it into the freezer for about an hour, just so the cornmeal will stick to the squash. Then we bring it out and then we will vacuum seal it, and then it goes back into the freezer until you're ready to use them. And this works very well. We've done it with the okra, and it literally tastes like you just cut it up, picked it fresh from your garden and then cut it up and fried it. But you've got to use the vacuum seal. That is the trick. It gets all the air out, and so there's no freezer burn, and it just keeps it fresh. And so I was glad we decided to do more butter. This time we were wanting to put it up in about a half a cup, which is what most of your recipes will call for baking, and put it up that way so we could just grab it and use it. And so I was excited to make some more. I'm not a big butter fan, but I love it this way. It is so light and it tastes really well, and I like the fact there's no preservatives in it. You know what you're getting. And so my mama really liked the fact that it was so easy. She was raised on a dairy, and they had to do things the old-fashioned way, and it took a while, and so she liked the fact that it didn't take very long, and that it tastes the same. Using heavy cream, which is just fat off the milk, has the same taste, and so she was really excited about that. So both my mama and I, we love to crochet, and she does a whole lot better job than I do, and she's making these pumpkins, and they were absolutely adorable, and I got the pattern for it, but it'll probably be a while before I can make some. I'm busy with canning and getting into my holiday season of holiday baking. And so I love the crochet pumpkins that my mom was making. She's going to make me a white one, and she does a wonderful job in crocheting. I like to crochet too, but she always does a better job than I do. So I wanted to share with you guys some of the new canning line products that I have. I have 32 products in my canning line that have my label on it, my Susie's Secret recipe label, and I'm very proud of my products. I've worked really hard to get them established, and I've even won awards with some of them and some top magazines. I placed first in some of them, second and third. So I'm really proud of them. And I wanted to incorporate some new things. And one of the things that I started working on was my own rotel. I use rotel like crazy. A lot of people order dishes that actually have rotel in it. Well, I wanted my own rotel, and I added a little different kick to it. I want it to be a little bit more, have more seasoning to it. And so I have it in mild, medium, and in hot. And another thing that I use a lot is I do love Italian food. And when I do fix Italian food, I wanted to make my own Italian style diced tomatoes. And so I worked until I mastered the product and got exactly what I wanted in the flavor. And so here's my Italian style diced tomatoes. And then I make a lot of different kinds of pickles. That's probably one of my biggest sellers. A lot of people, especially this year, for some reason, people are wanting salsa and pickles. And so I make dill pickles, and I make them in spicy, and I make bread and butter pickles, and I make it in spicy as well. And I wanted something that had a little bit more of a garlic taste to it, but be sweet, kind of like the bread and butter pickles, but have a little bit of a dill flavor. So I have sweet garlic dill pickle. And these are very good, and I have a lot of people that are requesting this product right here. Then I wanted to make something that had a little bit of a smoky flavor to it. My husband loves smoky flavor canning products, especially with salsa or relishes. So I made a smoky chipotle pepper relish, and I have it in the medium and the hot. And it's got a little bit of a sweet flavor to it, and then it turns into when it's like really spicy, and so it's really good. Especially it'd be good for people that like beans, to put it in there. And then these two products I just did probably a month ago, and I'm really proud of them both, and they turned out very well. And it's my smoky chipotle salsa, and I have it in the regular, and then I have it in the hot. These two products here have kind of a unique flavor to it. And when you taste it, it's going to be really sweet at first. And then a few minutes, that's when the heat comes through. And so this one, like I said, isn't as strong, the regular. And this one really has a bite to it. But it's very good, and you can really, really taste that smoky flavor. And then I have my own pizza sauce now. I wanted to create my own pizza sauce. So it took a while to get that and get the right seasonings for it to taste, you know, the way I wanted it to, but I finally did it. So I have my own pizza sauce. And one of the things that I like is spaghetti. I am a spaghetti person, and I wanted to have my own pasta sauce. And so that was another thing I had to work on and tweak a little bit, because to get the right flavor, I'm real big on flavor, and I wanted the right amount of spices in my pasta sauce. And so here is my pasta sauce, and then I wanted a garden vegetable one. And so it has stuff that I out of my garden that I put inside of it, and it really turned out really good. And so these are the new products within my canning line. And so guys, I almost have my website up and going. I'm at the point of putting the products that I have so people will be able to order. So they'll be able to order my canning line, and then I have like aprons that I'm going to be selling, along with some other baking things. So you'll have to check that out, and I'll have more detail on it to come. And so guys, if you enjoyed the video today, then please give me a thumbs up and put it in the comments. And thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you haven't, then please click the subscribe button below and the notification bell, and it will notify you when I have another video coming up. I will resume Monday Motivation beginning November 7th. And I will see you next Wednesday for another episode of Susie's Secret Recipes. So God bless you, and happy trails.